Our next candidate who's going to speak to is Andy Schaller. He's founder of the Palm Beach Financial Exchange, an electronic banking company, and I'll let Andy tell you the rest of his life. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for giving us the opportunity now. I hope many of the other organizations in this county will follow your lead and give us an opportunity to speak, because at the end of the day, it's your lives that we are going to affect. One of us here will affect your life, and it could affect us for a lot longer than we're in office. We make some landmark decisions sometimes, so thank you. As I was driving in here today, I was thinking that I actually own a hotel as well. In 1990, I bought a piece of property in Wellington, and a few years later, I sat down and drew up the plans on a laptop, and I designed my hotel. It's a little bit different than yours. It's a niche market, but I may share some of the same struggles that you may have. I have trucks showing up with food. I have some unruly customers sometime, and the happiest day is when they show up, and the happiest day is when they leave. Beyond that, I also am bittersweet when the situation's bittersweet when it's time for them to leave. Because when they leave, it's usually me calling in a front-end loader and a number of large dump trucks to clean up their mess. I own a horse hotel. People come from all over the world to compete in Wellington for something we have called the Winter Equestrian Festival, and I own a dressage facility. I'm blessed to have people from all over, Olympians both past and present, who've stayed at my location for the last 10 years. So I've got a little taste of what it's like to be in the hotel business, and I can say you guys got a tough job ahead of you most of the time. My company that I started that was referenced before is Palm Beach Financial Exchange. This month I celebrated my 20th anniversary. It's a company that caters to recurring transactions, also known as EFT, electronic funds transfer. I've handled the money for about 550 businesses across the United States and Puerto Rico. I've handled about $1 billion of other people's money, roughly $40 per transaction at a time. And I can serve any business and all business anywhere from what got me started with originally way back when LA Fitness, Gold's Gym, World's Gym, Powerhouse Gym, do boat storage, mini storage, condo associations, church tithing fees, green fees, et cetera, et cetera. If you can think of a business, I've probably either handled it, including the YMCA, or I'm about to handle it. Very fortunate that in the last 17 years I have not advertised for business. Every bit of my business has come by word of mouth. I do about 50% of my business in the first 5 days of the month, so I know what crunch time is. And I've personally overseen all the software that has guided my business, run my business since the inception in 1994. So I know what it's like to manage, and I know what it's like to handle other people's money. And prior to that, I was a financial consultant, investment banker for the third largest thrift in the U.S. owned by Ford. I handled all of Palm Beach and Broward County's fixed income for this particular branch. All I've done in my adult life is handle everybody else's money with my own neck on the line. Prior to the Patriot Act, I had an unlimited unsecured line of credit through the Federal Reserve Bank. Can't imagine too many businesses, a lot bigger businesses than mine, don't have unsecured lines of credit. I did, and I still have about $25, $30 million unsecured line of credit through there that I do my transactions monthly. To me, it's a big feather in my cap. The state of Tennessee used my banking practices through some private auditors that were teaching the public auditors exactly what it meant to have a clean business and how things were done. So I'm very proud of that as well. My first time appearing in front of the county commission and in the county chambers was in the 1990s. I learned something called TDRs, transfer of development rights. There was a piece of property down the street from a location that I owned a home in District 6 that I purchased in 1990 as my first place that I still own and been the only occupant. I still also own a home in Wellington, the horse hotel that I mentioned, which is my home. I turned the other one into my business. They were trying to get an increase from 100 homes to 100 homes from 72. I went down to the county and said I didn't think this was right. You could go ahead and buy property rights, developmental rights from one piece of property, turn it over. Learned about that. In the 1990s, later on, I was also part of the neighborhood coalition that's tried to stop Lions Road from going through the area that is now Olympia and cutting through our neighborhood. Was very successful in doing that. To this day, it still does not go through. I do 50% of my business in the first 5 days of the month, which for the last 6 years has allowed me to attend just about every single county commission meeting, every district meeting, everything that has gone on. And anything that I miss, I watch on TV. But I'm the only candidate here in the last 6 years that can say I've been to every meeting of every type, for the most part, that's been sponsored by the county in one way or another. I've been out through to the Hoover Dike restoration with the Army Corps of Engineers. I've been to the Cancer Cluster meetings. I have been to Acreage Landowners Association meetings. I've been to Indian Trail meetings. If there's been a meeting, I've been to it. And if there's an amenity or something to have fun in our district, I've done that too. I boat in the lake. I ride my Harley around the lake. I go to polo and the equestrian events on the weekends during the time. And I do just about everything everybody else does. I live in this county. I reside in Wellington, but I live in the county. And after sitting in the county commission for the last 6 years, I've seen your presentations to the county commission. I have some of your presentations, because when we're done, I go home and I download them from the county site, or I can take them off of the county's Channel 20. There's nobody in this room right now, in my opinion, who has spent as much time down at the county or could possibly bring enough information running the very first day with the historical things that have happened in the county for the last 6 years that I can. That, along with my financial background, the fact that I have helped to maintain more than 550 businesses across the U.S., I believe it makes me the most qualified person, systematically financial, and I ask for your support in November. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Yes, we do shovel it the same way as you do.